Could the Italian government be right in some sense describing the ship as some sort of taxi service for the migrants?
That's terrible. That's a very callous thing to say, that the migrant taxi service. There are no taxis for migrants. Migrants who go across the water knew before they embark on the journey that their lives are at stake. I've listened to testimonies of people who were repatriated into Nigeria, and what this guy said is they told them before they left the shores of Libya or wherever they are living from, that your chances of survival is like 1 out of 10. It's like 1 to 9, and then most of them have to take their chances, and we have to look at this issue. These guys, most of them are economic migrants. A lot of them are fleeing from conflict. A lot of them are fleeing from starvation. A lot of them, are running away from repressive governments. And what we can do as a world is to find accommodation for them. You see, the numbers of people who have moved over the last couple of decades, it's been huge. And most economies are run by migrants everywhere, even across Europe. So it is wrong to call it a migrant taxi service. It's a very callous thing to say. And, I was shocked when I saw that, and I'm just like, who thinks like this? It has to be a right-wing politician here.
Do you think some migrants could be taking advantage of rescue ships, though, using them as a means to get into Europe?
People who are migrants in the first place are seeking a better life. That's the primary thing. Most of them, their lives are at stake. Most of them, their future are at stake. Most of them have to move their family. They want to get their family to a place of safety. They need to get away from where they are. Look at people who are leaving from Eritrea, people who are leaving from different parts of the continent, the Chadians, the Nigerians who are moving, even Nigerians who are leaving. Most of them feel a sense of hopelessness where they are. Not to talk of there's a majority of these people, the majority of them are people who are running away from conflict areas. So, thinking that they are taking advantage of it, what form of advantage are you seeking? When you are running for your life, any opportunity for you to get to the next place that you consider safe, you have to take it. These people are drowning already, so they seize every opportunity, and I think it's wrong to classify them like that. But in as much as every country, the origin country, destination country, we all as a world have to do a lot more better in our respective regions to solve this problem. But these guys will keep moving no matter what you do.
Rights activist Olatunji Lanre Bariwa, thanks for joining us on the program. A Rwandan court has postponed the trial of opposition leader Diane Rwigara, a fierce critic of President Paul Kagame. Rwigara, who tried to challenge Kagame in the presidential elections last year, is faced with charges of inciting insurrection and has already spent a year in prison. Her mother is also on trial. Her supporters say the charges are politically motivated. Her father was a former supporter of Mr. Kagame. Earlier this month, the president shocked many when he granted more than 2,000 prisoners an unexpected pardon. Young people in South Sudan say they are ready to work for the improvement of livelihood in the country after a newly signed peace deal last month. Students and officials at the University of Juba say the leaders this time should fight for the development of the country.
At the University of Juba, students and officials discussed the implementation of South Sudan's new peace deal. They were speaking as a panel of experts and representatives from different societal groups met to discuss the way forward.
Sudan has been in conflict for several years, 21 years. They did not enjoy this peace. How are they going to enjoy this peace? Through the peace agreement. If they can able to come together, those of oppositions, those in government, and all the citizens, let them come together and then fight for the development of this country. But without all these people come together and then avoiding their own interests, let them think of the other people's interests so that they will achieve this peace. But without all those things, it's very hard.
Concerns have been raised on how the peace agreement will affect the rule of law, security, land rights, the economy, education and healthcare in the country, among other issues. President Salva Kiir and the leader of the main rebel group, Riek Machar, signed up to the ceasefire and power-sharing agreement earlier last month in Khartoum. after previous agreements failed to end the fighting.
I think it's up to the people of South Sudan to own this agreement. As bad as it might be, as crooked as it is, let's look for ways that we can straighten those flaws and the crooked lines that are mapping out the agreement itself. I do believe and I do trust that we have the ability to do that. The only thing that's left is how then we come together and actually have that common agenda pushing forward.
The conflict, fueled by personal and ethnic rivalries over the last 4 years, has killed tens of thousands, displaced an estimated quarter of South Sudan's population of 12 million, and ruined its economy, which heavily relies on crude oil production. The government says there's been a reduction in the level of violence and people must be patient.
This peace must be championed by South Sudanese. And to begin this peace, we must begin it with a smile at the face of each other. We must also begin it with forgiveness, regardless of how much you have been offended. You have to forgive and forget. And then a new chapter will open for us. This is a very important thing. We say and we denounce violence, we denounce bloodshed, and we advocate for peace and for tranquility and for love and for unity.
While Khartoum has trumpeted breakthroughs in the talks it hosted last month, the United States, which backed South Sudan's independence, says it is skeptical about peace prospects.
The International Criminal Court has begun hearing the defense of former Lord's Resistance Army commander Dominic Ongwen. The Ugandan rebel commander is accused of slaughtering civilians, among other crimes. The former child soldier, who rose through the ranks of Joseph Kony's rebel group, now faces 70 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. His defense counsel argues that his client was not able to act independently of the LRA, whose control he was under, and he was made to live under the strict beliefs of the LRA or die. Still to come on the program, Liberian musicians released a song calling on the government to find over $100 million cash that went missing last week. Please stay with us.